Nausicaan females shell out massive sums for one precious night with human studs, and ex-soldier turned outlaw smuggler Sam Burns is about to find out what happens when you get between alien chicks and the raw masculine potency they crave. Burns thought it was just another gig. Transport some hush-hush cargo, no questions asked, for a cool $5 million. But when that cargo turns out to be Naxa, a smoking hot Nausicaan dame desperate for his protection, Sam realizes he's landed in the middle of an interstellar breeding war. See, a gene plague made most Nausicaan men as sterile as moon rocks, so these extraterrestrial babes started hiring human alpha males to help expand the population. Makes sense, right? Well, not to the die-hard purists, who'd rather see their race die off than mix genes with us inferior mammals. So these fanatics kidnapped fertile females like Naxa, planning to forcibly knock them up as some kind of twisted political move. Burns' job is to deliver her to a top-secret facility where she can bump uglies with humans till the space cows come home. Nice work if you can get it. But it ain't gonna be easy. Burns' alien client Orin just pulled a double-cross, figuring Naxa's womb is his ticket to power among the radicals. Oh, and apparently, half the Nausicaan factions just put bounties on Sam's chiseled jaw, each side wanting control of his cargo's baby maker. Now Burns and his buxom charge gotta survive every step of the trip to Nausicaa, with only his guts and guns to keep her out of the wrong tentacles. The future of an entire alien species hangs on Sam's ability to deliver the goods. Looks like he's gonna have to save the galaxy, one womb at a time. Good thing those extraterrestrial Jezebels have no clue what they've unleashed by recruiting human studs into their little breeder war. Now Burns and his buxom charge were on the run. They hauled ass out of that seedy spaceport in Sam's souped-up smuggling ship, the Renegade Swift. Sam punched in coordinates for a remote safe house where they could lay low and figure out their next move. As the star line stretched past the viewport, Naxa opened up about the desperate state of her people. "The Nausicaan birth rate has totally fucking tanked," she said, her full lips pursed. "Even the few fertile males we have can't knock up enough females to keep our population from nosediving." Sam whistled. "Damn, that's rough." Naxa nodded grimly. In desperation, the Directorate started secretly recruiting human studs. Turns out your genes play real nice with ours. "So that's what this is really about," Sam said. "You need us to put some lead back in your pencils." "Crudely put, but yes," Naxa said. She leaned closer, her ample bosom straining against her tunic. "In fact, I was one of the first brood mares selected for the program." Sam's eyes widened. "No shit?" Naxa described the swanky digs at the Fertile Crescent Station, where hand-picked human seeders were living like kings, servicing entire harems of young, fertile Nausicaan females eager for their essence. "The most potent studs command crazy high fees," she purred, running a finger along Sam's muscular forearm. "I was so looking forward to breeding with prime human stock before those separatist fanatics snatched me." She gave him a smoldering look. "I have to say, Sam, you're quite an appealing specimen yourself." Sexual tension crackled between them, the air thick with pheromones. But before they could explore the growing attraction, proximity alarms blared. The ship shuddered as a Nausicaan frigate yanked them out of warp. "Shit, we've got company." Sam checked the scopes as the bigger ship locked on. "And they ain't the welcome wagon." Boots thudded in the airlock corridor. They were being boarded. Thinking fast, Sam stashed Naxa in a smuggling compartment. "Stay here. Stay quiet." He grabbed his blaster and faced the hatch as it hissed open. A half-dozen heavily armed insurgents stormed in, a motley crew of rough-looking Nausicans. Their scarred leader swaggered up to Sam. "Where's the female Earthman?" "Dunno what you're talking about, pal." Sam stood his ground as the brute loomed over him. "I'm just an honest businessman minding my own." A meaty fist slammed into Sam's gut. He doubled over, retching. The Nausicaan grabbed his collar, rank breath hot on Sam's face. "I am Korzak, and you are lying. We tracked the female's pheromone signature." Korzak threw Sam across the deck, His thugs ransacked the ship, ripping panels off bulkheads, searching for Naxa. Sam struggled to his feet, only to catch a rifle butt on the chin. He crashed down, head ringing. "She's not here, boss," a raider reported. Korzak grunted and hauled Sam up by his hair. "Then we'll settle for this pissant." He grinned horribly, jagged teeth gleaming. "Word's out about you, human. Oren's corpse was found at the port. Half the factions are scouring the sector for his valuable cargo, and here you fall right into my hands." The warlord dragged Sam, stumbling towards the airlock. "You're coming with us. I know some people very interested in wringing you dry." Korzak laughed nastily. "Hope your balls are ready for a workout." As the insurgents hauled him onto their ship, Sam sent a silent prayer that Naxa had the sense to slip away in a shuttle while he bought time. No way she'd be crazy enough to stay aboard, right? He had no clue she was still hidden on the renegade Swift, now docked in the frigate's hangar bay, already plotting his rescue. The raiders dumped him in the dank brig. As the door clanged shut, Sam stared bleakly at the waiting machinery, tubes and pumps and fluid-filled tanks, a harvester rigged to milk his valuable human seed. He'd escaped all manner of perils as a soldier and outlaw, but Samuel Burns' luck had finally run out. Naxa crept out of her hiding spot on the renegade Swift, heart pounding. She had to save Sam. Slinking through shadows, she made her way to the frigate's armory. Inside, she snatched a vial of potent Nausicaan paralytic toxin. Meanwhile, Korzak's thugs dragged Sam into a dim chamber. They strapped him to a metal chair festooned with tubes and needles. "Time for your contribution to the cause, human," Korzak sneered. Sam fought the rising panic. "You idiots really think the Directorate will deal with broodmare defiling terrorists?" A meaty fist slammed into his jaw. Sam spat blood. "Hit a nerve, did I?" More blows rained down. Through swollen eyes, Sam saw Naxa slip into the room. She twisted a nozzle, releasing a pale mist into the air vents. The Nausicans dropped like flies. Korzak clawed at his throat before collapsing. Naxa rushed to Sam, nimble fingers working at his restraints. Her hands lingered on his bruised flesh. "You protected me," she whispered. "No one's ever done that before." Sam's cynicism cracked. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of pride. The door burst open. Fresh insurgents poured in. Sam and Naxa sprang into action. He snapped necks and crushed windpipes. She clawed eyes and broke bones. When it was over, they stood panting amid the carnage. Sam saw the primal fury in Naxa's eyes. She saw the cold efficiency in his. A moment of mutual understanding passed between them. "We gotta go," Sam grunted. They raced to the renegade Swift. As they blasted out of the hangar, Sam unleashed a barrage of torpedoes. Explosions rocked the frigate behind them. Limping through the inky void, Sam flipped switches on the comm panel. "Calling in a favor, old friend. We need new IDs and safe passage. Fast." A gruff voice crackled back. "You're in deep shit this time, Burns." "Tell me about it," Sam muttered as they hurtled toward their next destination, enemies no doubt already in pursuit. Sam tapped into his smuggler network, reaching out to an old contact, Zalto, a shady Zexor clone sib known for forged docks and discreet transport. After some back and forth haggling over the encrypted channel, Zalto finally agreed to help. But the price tag made Sam wince. 50,000 credits? You gotta be shitting me, Sam growled. Zalto's gravelly voice crackled through the comm. "Take it or leave it, Burns. You're too hot to handle cheap." Sam ran a hand through his hair, glancing at Naxa. Her eyes were wide with worry. He sighed. "Fine, but I'm a little short on funds at the moment. How about we work out a deal?" "What did you have in mind?" Zalto purred, interest piqued. Sam steeled himself. "I hear Zexors are always looking for fresh genetic stock. How about I work off the debt at one of your breeding facilities?" Naxa gasped. "Sam, no, you can't!" He squeezed her hand. "It's just business, nothing more. We need those IDs and transport." Zalto cackled. Well, well, the great Samuel Burns offering himself up as a stud. How the mighty have fallen. Fine. We have a deal. Meet me at these coordinates in 12 hours. Sam cut the transmission and turned to Naxa. Her mandibles quivered with distress. It'll be okay, he assured her. Just a few donations and we're home free. But as they docked at Jalto's remote shadow port, dread pooled in Sam's gut. The Zexor's spidery appendages twitched with glee as he led them inside. The female will wait here, Jalto chittered, gesturing to a sparse holding cell. You human, come with me. Sam gave Naxa's shoulder a reassuring squeeze before following Jalto deeper into the facility. The sterile corridors made his skin crawl. They entered a stark white chamber where a gnarled Zexor female awaited. Her carapace was mottled with age, compound eyes glittering coldly. I am Mura, she rasped. Your fee is 50 donations, vigorous ones, begin. Sam balked. Whoa, hold on. I thought this would be more clinical. Ura's mandibles clicked in amusement. Oh, it will be. Quite clinical indeed. The next days blurred together in a haze of humiliation and exhaustion. Sam was ushered from one sterile chamber to another, poked and prodded by Ura's emotionless technicians. A parade of Zexor females were cycled through, some repulsive, others eerily alluring, but all were there for one purpose. Sam gritted his teeth and endured, thinking of Naxa, of escape, of revenge. Finally, drained and aching, he'd fulfilled his end of the bargain. But Ura wasn't finished. One more donation, she demanded, a bonus for your impressive output. Something in Sam snapped. With a roar, he lunged at the Zexor matron. They crashed into shelves of equipment, shattering vials of genetic samples. Viscous fluids splashed over Sam's skin as they grappled. He felt a sharp pain, then a spreading warmth. Shoving Ura away, Sam stumbled out of the chamber. Alarms blared as he raced through the facility. He found Naxa and grabbed her arm. We gotta go, now. They sprinted for the docking bay, but halfway there, Sam's legs gave out. He collapsed, body racked with spasms. Sam! Naxa cried, kneeling beside him. What's wrong? He convulsed, flesh rippling grotesquely. Something's happening. You need to run. Jalto's voice rang out. Leave the human female. Save yourself. Naxa looked from Sam to the exit, torn. Sam's body contorted, alien bulges erupting from his skin. Go, he rasped. But Naxa stood her ground, cradling his trembling form as the genetic cocktail worked its terrifying changes. Sam's body convulsed violently, his muscles spasming as the alien genetic cocktail surged through his system. Pustules erupted across his skin, bursting open to reveal glistening, chitinous patches underneath. Naxa watched in horror as Sam's form twisted and bulged, grotesque tumors swelling and reshaping his once human physique. Jalto, the Zexor clone sib, hissed in disgust. He drew his sidearm, aiming it at the writhing mass that was Sam. This abomination must be destroyed. No! Naxa shrieked, throwing herself protectively over Sam's thrashing body. She felt the heat radiating off his mutating flesh, heard his agonized groans. Don't you dare hurt him! Between violent spasms, Sam locked eyes with Naxa. Run, he croaked, his voice warped and alien. Get out of here before I become something else, something dangerous. Naxa gripped his shoulders, ignoring the strange textures forming beneath her fingers. Fight it, Sam! Don't let it take you! For a terrible moment, Sam's eyes glazed over with inhuman detachment. Then, as if struck by lightning, his gaze snapped back to Naxa's face. A spark of fury ignited in those familiar eyes, human willpower battling against the alien invasion of his body. Sam's lips pursed, every muscle in his body going rigid as he fought the mutagenic onslaught. Naxa could only watch helplessly as Sam's form fluctuated between human and insectoid, caught in a war for control of his very being. Hours crawled by. Sam writhed on the floor, sometimes screaming in agony, other times eerily still. Jalto paced nearby, muttering curses under his breath at the unholy spectacle. Naxa never left Sam's side, whispering encouragement, wiping the sweat and ichor from his brow. Suddenly, Sam's body went rigid. A sickening crunch filled the air as his bones shifted and realigned. When the convulsions finally stopped, a new form rose from the floor, towering and alien, yet unmistakably Sam. He stood nearly 8 feet tall, his skin now a burnished carapace. His features were an unsettling blend of human and insectoid, but his eyes burned with the same defiance Naxa knew so well. Most shockingly, a cluster of writhing, phallus-like appendages sprouted from his back, glistening with some unknown secretion. The onlookers recoiled in shock. Sam's voice, deeper and resonant, rumbled through the room. "I am still human," he growled, fixing Jalto with a menacing glare. "And I'm nobody's breeding stud but my own." Jalto raised his weapon again, but Sam advanced on him. "You're going to give us safe passage to the Directorate's Fertile Crescent," Sam demanded, "unless you want me to put these new additions to use on your entire staff." A tense silence filled the room. Jalto's compound eyes darted between Sam's intimidating new form and the twitching appendages on his back. Finally, the Zexor lowered his weapon. "Fine," he spat. "Take a transport and get out of my sight." Sam turned to Naxa, his gaze softening. He extended a clawed hand, which she took without hesitation. "We're going to see this through," he said softly. "Together." Naxa nodded fiercely, squeezing his misshapen hand. "Together," she agreed. As they boarded the transport bound for the Fertile Crescent, the stricken faces of Jalto and his crew watched them go. They had witnessed something beyond their comprehension, the sheer, terrifying force of human will.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.